Good morning, all. Today, I am continuing the previous topic, wage and salary administration. So, in previous class, I am discussing what is the meaning of wage and salary administration and objectives and the nature and characteristics of wage and salary administration. So, now principles of a good wage and salary administration. What are the principles of good wages and salary administration? So, what are the principles? So first one, simple and easy to understand. So what type of, suppose you have to use any method, you have to select any salary deciding methods, then that is very simple and easy to understand everybody. Suppose the employee is confused with your method, then he is unable to understand uh, how you are calculating the salary. So then there is a confusion, so he is dissatisfied ultimately. Okay, so that is the thing. And the union management agreement. Okay, so and after that, union management management agreement. Okay, so union management agreement means, so suppose if you are agreed, suppose at the time of employment, then at the time of employment, then we are going to develop or going to make a agreement in between employer and employee. So that means management and employee. According to that agreement, you have to pay the salary to the employee. Okay, so without any deviation. Okay, so that is another principle. And after that, uh, time standard must be fixed. After that, next important thing is time standard must be fixed. Okay, so what is the standard time? Have to decide, that must be fixed. That is decided and fixed. Okay, so what is the standard time for working? That means 8 hours or 7 hours or something. So then you have to fix it some timing. So then according to that time, so what time you have to specify, then they're working on uh, working the duration you have to mention. That means 8 hours or 6 hours or 7 hours or something. So then you have to fix a standard time. That is a very, very, very important thing. Then you have to mention at the time of the appointment also, from morning 9 to 10, 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or 9 to 4 or 9 to 5 something. So then you have to mention it clearly. Then you have to fix it. Then after that, reward must be proportional to the effort. After that, reward must be proportional to the effort. Okay, so you are giving rewards according to their efforts. Suppose they are showing much more effect, much more effort in their jobs, and they are showing good performance in the job, then you have to give reward like also. Okay, so those who are showing more performance, then you have to give more reward. Those who are showing uh, some less performance, suppose uh, some less performance, then you are not giving the rewards. So according to the efforts, then you have to give the rewards. Then complaints and grievances must be properly attended to. Okay, so after that, complaints and grievances must be attended to. So what are the complaints and issues related to the employee? Then you have to attend it in a proper manner. So grievance handling, that is nothing but called as grievance handling. So grievance handling is very, very important. So then you have to resolve the problems of the employees in an immediate basis. Then only they are satisfied, and also they feel comfort. Otherwise, uh, they are in they are in dissatisfaction, and also they are not showing to participate in the work. Okay, then after that, the plan should not change frequently. Okay, so after that, the plans should not change frequently the length of the time. Okay, so not to change frequently and must be tried out continuously for some length of time. Okay, so what type of plan you have to implement, then that should be applied for some time. Okay, then you are not try to change continuously. So that then you change your plan without any regular time intervals. So there is a confusion is developed in the organization. Okay, so what we are doing and what is the plan? So in what way we are going? So nobody is identifying, and also so many people are going to confusion. Then it leads to a big problem to the organization. So that's why you have to maintain a regular time intervals. Then only you have to change your plan, and also you have to intimate the changes to the employees also. That is another important thing. Okay, so then equity and fairness. After that, there is an equity and fairness. So that is also another important thing. So you have to show all of you are equal. So because all are doing work, so then you see all is equal. There is no discrimination or favoritism or something. So you are in a transparent manner. So those who are working, you have to encourage, and those who are not working, then you have to motivate that people to do work. So in this way, you don't show any favoritism. The manager should not show any favoritism or any partiality. Okay, so there is no discrimination. So all are equity and fairness. Okay, so then workers must be made to understand the plan. So already I told you. So what type of plan you have to implement? That plan must be understand by the workers. That is very important thing. So you develop the plan and you have to implement that plan, but the workers are not able to understand that plan. So what is the use of your plan? So that's why you have to give a clear cut idea of plan, what you have to implement it. First you have to give a training or some explanation or a demo to the workers, then only you have to implement that plan. Then it is successful. Then next one, method study must preceded time standard. So already we are discussing method study. So sorry, it is not there in our syllabus. So what is the method study means? So method study means what? Uh, so what is the that is nothing but it is a clear cut process of each and every activity what is done by the worker. So how the movements are going and how the workers movements are going on. So there is a complete picture about where he started and where he is ended. So everything is recorded. So the method study must precede time standard. So time standard before you have to find, have to decide the standard time. That means in that particular time you have to complete that work. That is nothing but standard time. Suppose you have to manufacturing or make a piece or product in a 1 hour time. That is the standard time. So that is the time is fixed by the management. There is some procedures are there. So the method study before the standard time you have to go for method study. That is nothing but it gives an idea about how to fix the times, how to fix the standard time. So you have to record different employees work process and what time they are taken to complete that task. Then according to that you have to finalize the standard time. Okay, that is important thing. So then there must be a minimum guaranteed payment. Suppose is there low performance or high performance or ordinary performance, then the minimum salary is guaranteed. Okay, so then everybody is getting the minimum salary while they are reaching the standard performance or not, then you are giving salary. That means the minimum salary to everyone. So that is another principle of the good wage and salary administration. Those which methods are having these qualities, then it will be treated as a good wage and salary administration method. Okay, so then next one. So Then incentive is nothing but, so we are giving uh, additional amount of their regular salary, that is incentive. So how we are giving incentive, then there are some methods, there is a calculations are there. So advantages of the wage incentive plans. What are the advantages of the wage incentive plans? Then so wage incentives plans must benefit not only the employees but also employers. So wage incentive plans are not only benefit to employees and employers also. That is a very, these are very helpful to the management also. Employees are nothing but manage, so those who are giving the jobs, just like so it is nothing but management. Okay, so it is also helpful to the management also. So first advantage is wage incentive plans provide an opportunity for hardworking and ambitious workers to earn more. Those who are want to earn more salary, then they are able to, they are try to produce more and more, and also they are putting hard work. Then always they are trying to get more money, then they do more work. Okay, so this is very very important thing. So this is a major benefit which is related to incentive, wage incentive plans. This is a major advantage. Okay, so then second one is it encourages employees to be innovative. So this wage and salary, this wage incentive plans are encouraging the employees to be innovative. They are thinking in a new way. So and they are try to innovate new things. So they come, that means they become smarter. So they come out with more efficient ways of doing work by overcoming the problems. So for every work, in every work there is a problems. So how to overcome these problems, they are find out and search different ways how to complete this task and how to overcome these problems in an efficient manner. So then are resolve all the problems which are involved in the work. Then in this way there is chance to productivity, and also there is a there is improvement of the productivity. Okay, so then next one, incentive plans helps to improve discipline and industrial relations. Effective incentive plans helps in minimizing absenteeism, accidents, etc. So incentive plans are help to improve discipline and industrial relations. So when you are implementing a wage and salary administration, suppose some of the wage methods, then it improves the discipline in the organization and also maintaining good industrial relations. So effective incentive plan helps in minimizing absenteeism, accidents, etc. Suppose the employee is not interested to uh, put as a uh, absent. So because if he put absent, or if he is absent any day, then he loses the salary and also incentive also, because he he come to work and he produce or he makes something, then he is getting salary and also plus incentive. So then nobody is not interested to absent. Okay, so in this way we are getting the benefit from this wage incentive plans. Then next one, the self motivation on the part of the workers to work hard and improve performance so as to earn monetary rewards will reduce the cost of supervision. So after that, the self motivation on the part of the workers, that is also another important thing. So to work hard and improve performance. Suppose if you are giving good rewards, and also you have to identify uh, those who are working are not working, then you have to motivate them. So those who are working, so they are showing good performance in the work, then you are giving the rewards and monetary benefits also. Then they are more encouraged and they are try to give more output. Okay, then they are self motivated, and it leads to reduce the cost of supervision. So suppose they are more encouraged and without motivation they are working, then there is no need of supervision. So then you have to reduce the cost of the supervision. Okay, so then in this way it is also benefited. And the scientific work study undertaken before introducing the incentive plans helps in improving workflow, work methods, etc. Okay, so the scientific work study undertaken So the scientific study undertaken before introducing the incentive plans helps in improving workflow, work methods, etc. So there is a scientific work study methods are introducing before incentive plans helps in improving workflow, work methods, etc. Then in work study means you have to measure the work. So then what is the performance of the employee and how to measure the performance of the employee? Then you are able to measure the performance of the employee. Then you have to decide how much incentives are giving that employee. So how we are framing a criteria for incentives. Okay, through work study, I have to identify how we are giving incentives on based on some criteria. Then after that, the employees are encouraged to work as a team with your mutual cooperation as their activities is interdependent, and any obstruction on the part of a worker can affect the output and rewards. So then after that, the employees are encouraged to work as a team. Suppose everybody is interested to participate, and also they are encouraged to develop a team, and also there is a mutual cooperation in between all of them, and the activities which are doing independent and some of the activities are doing in interdependent or interdependent, then these interdependent tasks are only completed with the teamwork and also mutual cooperation. So without this we are unable to complete these interdependent activities. Okay, so dependent activities, suppose independent activities, there is no problem because that is done by individual, but interdependent activities are definitely done by different people and also come together to work, that is teamwork. So any obstruction on the part of a worker can affect the output and rewards. Suppose in team some of them are not working or not involved much more, then ultimately it leads to output, it shows impact on the output, and also it is effect on the rewards. So suppose any of them are not working in a good manner, then ultimately it is affected on the remaining people also, because the work is not completed in time. Suppose I am uh, putting hard work, but someone is not uh, doing hard work, then ultimately I am also affected with that person. Okay, that is another important thing. So that's why there is a cooperation uh, is needed. Then it is developed with this incentive plan. Okay, so with incentive plans they are encouraged and they are motivated, then they are showing good performance. And according to the National Commission on Labor, so wage incentive is the cheapest, quickest, and surest means of increasing productivity. So in simple way, they are giving what is the advantage of the wage incentive is it is cheapest and all the quickest and also surest means of increasing productivity. So the good incentive plan definitely increasing the productivity. Okay, so this is the good advantage and also very important advantage. Okay, so then in this these are the advantages of the wage incentive plans. And after that, limitations of the wage incentive plans. So what are the limitations? Then jealousy and conflicts among workers may arise when some workers earn more than others. So generally in generally there is a jealous. Suppose I am getting more salary compared to another person, then the another person feels so he earns so much more money, but I am not earning more money, so he feels jealous about me. So this is one of the problem, this wage incentive plan. Then second one is, unless strict check and inspections are maintained, quality may come under stake in the enthusiasm among workers to increase productivity. Suppose there is a strict check and inspection are maintained. So we are not maintaining this, then ultimately the productivity is being increased, but the quality is not in a standard. Okay, so we are not giving a standard quality. So because the productivity is more, so but the quality is degraded. Suppose they want to earn much more money, then they are going, they do the work without maintaining quality. That means in speed, ultimately there is some mistakes are going on. So ultimately it leads to a defect product. So with the defect product, we are not giving a quality product to the suppose is there any defect in the product that is rejected by the customer, they are returned to manufacturer. So that is a bigger problem. So and also the customer is feels this is not a good company, they are not giving a good quality product. So then he spreads this news to some of the people, then ultimately the more publicity is going on, so then nobody is not interested to purchase our product. That's why you are giving a good quality product. So that is very important. So otherwise it shows a huge impact on your business. So, and in the absence of a ceiling on incentive earnings, some workers may spoil their health. Suppose you have to ceiling on incentive earnings, suppose you have to put some limitation. Suppose if you are producing n number of items, then we are giving only this level, that means up to 20% we are giving the incentive. So how to you have to make any n number of products. Suppose you are producing suppose the standard performance is 20 units daily. Suppose up to 30 we are giving the incentive, that means up to 10%. So more than 10%, then you are giving the incentive for only 10%, not for 20% or something. Suppose you are giving only up to 10%, we are giving only incentive, then after that he reaches 15% or 30%, then you are not giving that 20% and 30%, then you are ceiling to 10%, then you are giving only 10% incentive. He shows much more performance, and also he produces more and more products, but you are giving only 10% incentive. That is a maximum. Then you have to shield it. Otherwise, the employee is try to produce more and more products, then ultimately it leads to unhealth. That means they spoils the health of the employer worker. So that is bigger problem for the organization. So there, for that purpose, you have to shield the incentives up to such level. Then only then the employee is stopped over here, the worker is stopped over that level, then he relaxes. Then after that, strict vigilance becomes necessary to ensure that workers do not disregard safety regulation. So there is a strict vigilance, that means strict monitor in the safety regulations. So every employee must follow the safety measurements. So otherwise it leads to bigger problem, and also it shows it reflects all the plan, all the places, that means total plan. So suppose if you are taking example of suppose 2 days back or yesterday, so in Kaza toll gate there is a fire accident. So then so many people are affected, so or not. And suppose the there is no human loss, but the loss is very more. So because the total toll gates are infrastructure is damaged. So in this way, so in sometimes it leads to a bigger problem. Some of the life risk, sometimes it is a life risk also. So the good thing is there is no damage of or any death of human. So it's only damage the infrastructure. Okay. So in sometimes it also causes death. Okay, so fire accident. So like this. So safety regulations everybody maintain. So the cost and time of clerical work increases and in introducing and administering the incentive plans. Okay, so the cost and time of clerical work increases in introducing and administering the incentive plans. So uh, according to the time you are giving the salary for the clerical work. So you are not giving that suppose according to the time you are not giving that amount to the workers, so clerical staff, then also it increasing in introducing and administering the incentive plans. Then it needs to administering the incentive plans. So wherever production flow is disrupted due to the fault of management, workers insist on compensation. Okay. So suppose is there any production process is suppose disrupted, that means is stopped by fault of the management. Suppose there is no fault of workers, so it is a fault of management, then workers insist on compensation. Then you have to pay the salary for employee workers because they are not responsible for that. Then you have to pay the compensation to the workers. Then next one, types of wage incentive plans. Okay, what are the types of wage incentive plans? Following are the types of wage incentive plans represented as below. Then first one is straight piece rate method. So it is very simple thing. Then you have to see the example. So suppose if the piece rate is 4 per piece of the product, so and then a worker who turns out 40 pieces day, suppose the worker is making 40 units per day, pieces per day, then per piece rate is 4 rupees, then 4 into 40, 160 rupees as his wage for that day. The wage of that worker is per day 160 because he is producing 40 pieces, then piece rate is 4 rupees, then 40 into 4, 160 rupees. So whereas another employee who produces 32 pieces, then he earns 128 rupees, then 4 into 32, then 128 rupees. Hence a fast worker earns more compared to the slow worker. Okay, so this is the straight piece rate plan. So then advantages of the this piece rate method is motivates the worker to increase their output. So they are producing more pieces, then they are earning more money. Then it motivates the employee to do more. Then simple and easy to understand. It is very simple, easy and understand. And improve productivity, helps to improve the productivity. Okay. So and what are the disadvantages are there? So no guaranteed minimum wage. There is no guarantee. Suppose if you are producing 10 pieces, then only you are getting 10 pieces. Suppose you are not producing any pieces, so then ultimately you are not getting the minimum wage. Okay, there is no minimum wage. Okay, suppose if you are producing only one piece, then you are getting only 1 into 4, 4 rupees. Okay, so there is no minimum wage and a great disparity of earnings between slow and fast workers. So there is a big difference in between fast and slow workers, and also wastage might increase. Some of the material is also wastage. So because they are focusing on product, suppose how many units they are produced, but not the material. Suppose the in fast process, some of the raw materials are also wasted. So then quality of production may suffer as the workers concentrate on quantity. So the employees are always, the workers are only focused on quantity, not on quality. Then automatically the quality of production is decreased. So that is the another problem. Then interpersonal relationship suffers due to jealousy and competition to earn more. So everybody feels jealous. He is producing more pieces, then he is getting more salary. Always this competition is going on. So then ultimately it damages the relationships in between the workers. Then enforced idleness like electricity failure or machine breakdown adversely affect earnings of the worker. Suppose there is no minimum wage in this method, the ultimately there is an electrical failure or any machine breakdown or any idleness. So this is adversely affect on earning of workers. Okay, so earning of workers. Okay, so that means is there any problem related to the management? They are unable to this shows impact on the earnings of the worker because they are unable to produce, then they didn't get the amount because they are not producing anymore. Okay, so that is the bigger problem. Okay, so after that, standard piece rate with guaranteed minimum wage. Okay, so what is the difference in between previous one and this one? In this method, the employee is getting minimum salary. Okay, so minimum salary means if you are if he is producing something or not, then he getting some minimum salary. Okay, some minimum salary. Okay, so then this is this creates some of the motivation. So the employees feel secure, but whether he producing something or not, then he is getting minimum salary, then he feels secure. Okay, so this is also hourly based. So suppose assume that there is 8 hours shift, the piece rate is rupees 4 and a minimum fixed wage of rupees 16 per hour. So suppose in a 8 hour shift, the piece rate is 4. Okay, so and the fixed wage for 16 hours work, so 16 into 8, so that means total hours is 128 hours per day. Then the standard time by piece is 15 minutes. Okay, so per piece the standard time is 15 minutes. Okay, so how it is calculated? 128 rupees per day. Okay, so suppose 24, right? So 16 into 8, 16 into 8, that is 128. Okay, so 128 rupees per day, that means uh, 128 hours, sorry, they are mentioning rupees. So 128 hours, suppose in 128 hours uh, so the standard time per piece is 15 minutes. Okay, so in this way, yes, so 128 by 8, that is 60 minutes, sorry, so it mentioned is 15 minutes. So 128 by 8, so per day shift is 8 hours, so 128 by 8 means 16 minutes. So for each and every piece, the time will be, the standard time will be decided as 16 minutes. So just corrected it as 16 minutes or 15, no problem, 1 minute only difference, there is no problem at all. So now there are two workers A and B. If worker A produces 25 pieces a day and he earns 128 rupees, that is minimum guaranteed wage. Okay, so and plus rupees 100, so 4 into 25. Okay, so actually there is a 15 minutes. So then he produces 25. Okay, so he reaches the level, that means standard performance, and more than standard performance he produces 25. So then 25 pieces into 4, then he is getting 100 incentive, then 228. Minimum guaranteed wage is 128 because, so this is 128, then 128 plus the incentive is 4 into 25. So per piece there is a 4 rupees, there is 25 pieces, then 4 into 25, 100 rupees. Then 128 plus 100, 228. Okay. So if worker B produces 40 pieces per day, he earns 128 minimum guaranteed wage plus 160 rupees. So 40 into 4, that means that is the piece rate. Okay, this is the minimum wage for 8 hours. That is the minimum wage, whether he is producing or not. Okay, don't confuse. Whether he is producing or not, then the minimum wage is 128 rupees per day. Suppose he produces 25 pieces per day, so then 25 into 4. Okay, so 25 into 4. Okay, so then 100 rupees. Then we are giving per piece 100 rupees, 4 rupees, then 25 into 400. Okay, so like this. Then 40 pieces, 4 into 40, 160 rupees. Then 228 per day. So 100 plus 128 plus 160. Okay, then 228. So is there any calculation mistake? There is no problem. Just to have added. So just I am collecting this data from internet, some prescribed book. So then some typing mistakes are there. So there is no problem. Then you have to calculate according to this. Then what are the advantages? Minimum guarantee improves sense of security. So the employees feel security. So he is getting minimum wage. Then disparity between slow and fast workers, that is reduced because everybody is having minimum salary, minimum wage. Then there is no disparity in between the slow and faster workers. And the disadvantages are demotivative fast workers. So everybody is getting minimum wage, whether he is working or not. Then the faster worker is demotivated because of what is the use? I am produce more and more, then there is no use because he is also getting 128 rupees minimum and I am also getting 128 rupees minimum. Then slow workers get higher piece rate. So 128 by 25, 5.12. Suppose if I calculated 128 by 25, so then 5.12. Then he is also getting 128 by 40. So he earns less because he is producing more, but he is getting less. Suppose 128 by 25 is 5.12. Then wait a minute. So open the calculator. So 128 by 5. So sorry, 25 pieces. Then 5.12. Then just like that 128 by 40, because B is producing 40 pieces. Then 3.2, he is getting 3.2 only. Okay, so those who are showing less performance, then he is getting piece rate as 5.12 higher piece rate. But those who are producing more and more, then he is getting only 3.2. So there is a difference of 2 rupees. So in this way, the speed worker is demotivated. Okay, so that is the major disadvantage in the this model. Okay, thank you. So right now I am taking attendance because the class is closed. Only 1 minute I am having.